that you need to go down the innovation curve and IP. We cannot do copycat. We need to be on that innovation curve and we need to create that intellectual property in India. So right now what we're doing, batteries, components, all of that, yes, copy it for now. But then we need to have a huge part of industry that's actually looking at innovation from where we are. Today you're looking at using batteries, you're looking at using, some places are looking at using fuel. Look at those aspects of hydrogen. How do you make the battery, the lithium battery, smaller? How do you, Moore's law? Can you bring more chips on that scale and increase your quantum capacity? Right? Those are the aspects that we need to look at on hardware as well. And yes, we need to become the innovation capital. And yes, we need to set up an incubator that looks at the current hardware technology and looks at next gen today. Because it's only when we prove ourselves there that you're actually going to become a drone hub as far as manufacturing is concerned. We're not saying enough. Look, there are two models in the world. The first model is, before you have enough to say, you overcommit and you underperform. I don't like that model. I like the model where I undercommit and I over. Right? We're doing a lot in India. Ramadevi ji is sitting here, medicine, northeast states, we're transporting vaccines, we're doing blood, we're looking at venom. But let's build that critical scale before we talk the India story. I don't want a situation where we talk up the story and then we don't have scale, people come here and find out what we do. So to Suman Berry's point and to your point, I don't mind. Secondly, sector state. Don't get into this whole model of sector state. Innovation means you let it erupt from whichever corner it's from. We need to make sure that we put in place the levers that will allow disruption to happen from different areas. She's doing something else in Telangana. Let Maharashtra do something else. Let other states do something. Don't get into this bureaucracy of center state. We have to make sure that we play the role of facilitators. Allow that innovation to happen. Let each state, each district, each taluka take on its own form. Don't get into this funnel of government bureaucracy. Vikas Mishra, hardware innovation is key, hydrogen, etc. Very important point you made. Scientific research is key. Innovation is tied with scientific research. Scientific research is tied with educational institutions. And here I would love Niti, Aayog and my ministry to work together with the IITs because that's the labyrinth of innovation. So we need, like we've set up adult tinkering labs for schools, we need to set that system up for universities. So that innovation comes from universities. Because then only will it go to industry. Look at what Germany has done with the union between universities and industry. We need to do that in India, and we need to do that now. So a lot of you need to tie up with those IITs, and we need to be the ones that will lay that framework for you, so that you can then go ahead and do it. Someone talked about Israel. Vignesh. I went to Israel as Commerce and Industry Minister. They have a CTO in government. They have a Chief Technology Officer. Sun Microsystems has it. Microsoft has it, Apple has it. This country has a CTO. So I'm glad you tied up with Israel, and I was of the opinion we need to set up those incubators. And Kansa, a lot of those Israeli guys are willing to collaborate in setting up incubators in India. Let's move technology on this front. Agriculture. Spraying, etc., high precision, adoption in the issue. No, I don't agree. Now, you talked about the issue of farmers not being used to this technology, adoption being an issue. That's where services come. That's where you need to set up companies that will say, okay, these 20, 30 districts, my domain. I know this inside out. Amitabh Ji is a farmer. I'm going to go to him with my value proposition. You want your farm sprayed? I will do it for you. You don't need to invest in the capital equipment. You don't need to get into this hardware stuff. I will do it. You just pay me my cost, my job work. I'll do the job work. That's the opportunity. So we need to set up these companies that are going to take up those 15 districts, 20 districts, map the whole district. They should know this guy धान की खेती करता है, ये ज्वार लगाता है. This is his spraying time. I need to go to him and I need to get the service. Once he gets used to me doing his service once, twice, thrice, I guarantee you, this kid will set up his own company and do the service for himself and the farmers next to him. That's not a barrier to entry. Adoption will happen. But first, he needs to get used to that product. And for that, you need to set up a service company that will serve him. Okay? Then we go to the issue of local languages. Completely agree with you. We need to make sure that we have that in local language. Gaurav made points on blood usage and venom, which I agree with. 10 times faster in heavy areas, 3 times in plain. Golden hour, completely agree with you. That golden hour principle also applies to helicopters. So I'm doing that with HEMS, helicopter emergency medical services with Gadkari sir on highways, so we can set that up. Same thing for drones. Kalika ji talked about eVTOLs, passenger flights. Just keep in mind, Kalika ji, that what's most important, yes, we need to get ahead of the curve. We need to deploy this technology. Ahmedabad to Gandhinagar. I've created 3 helicopter corridors. Same way you'll need to create that for eVTOLs. Right? A. B. Also please remember, transport aircraft need a very high level of certification. Okay? So first, in India also, when we bring these eVTOLs, we'll have to have our defense services adopt them. Then just like in the US, it goes through FAA certification. In Europe, it goes through EASA. Neither country has given it yet. It's in the process. In India, it will have to go through TTC. Right? So I understand your urgency, but safety and security has to be kept paramount. So that's my responsibility. So where on the one hand, I'm eager to lay this out, on the other hand, I have to make sure that I keep safety and security paramount.